Welcome back to Mass Effect Andromeda gameplay series. And oh my god, who could have thunk that in 5 minutes I would have so much to talk about. Alright, let's dive right in.
Into the heart of Mass Effect Andromeda. Exploration.
It seems that Andromeda is going back to its origins and giving you the reins on exploration.
No way this is home.
You are thrust into a brand new galaxy with a ship and a map, and are free to go crazy. As per tradition, you have a map on deck, but do look at the sheer scope of it. As we learn later in the trailer, there are hundreds of planets to discover and a handful of worlds to land on, which brings an obvious question: what's a handful in digits? Here we see something reminiscent of Mass Effect 2, and I really hope that's not that silly minigame.
In Andromeda, there are over 100 planets to discover, and a handful of beautifully crafted worlds can be landed on. And that's where the adventure really begins. Each world you visit has its own story, its own characters, and of course, its own challenges.
We get a hint on how the story unfolds in Andromeda. We are told that Krogan don't trust anyone from the Initiative. But why? Didn't they come with the Initiative in the first place?
We need the Krogan, and the Krogan need us.
In this next section of the video, we get a short preview on how the exploration will work in practice. As pointed out in numerous other Andromeda coverage videos, the Dragon Age Inquisition influence in this game is unmistakable. But unlike the limitation posed by a horse in terms of movement and exploration and overall fun, the Nomad, it seems, will add a whole new layer of exploring those handful of worlds that the player will be able to land on. Once again, I do wonder, are you able to jump off that ledge as per Inquisition mechanics? Or are there invisible walls like in previous Mass Effect games? Environmental hazard is another gameplay mechanic that was criminally underdeveloped in Mass Effect 1 and is making a comeback. I'm very excited about it, as long as it is well balanced and you are not forced to recharge every half a minute even on fully upgraded Nomad and suit.
You'll find new areas to explore, new characters, and new storylines.
The big letdown in DEA Inquisition for me was the cuts in content, specifically a very intriguing mission of a fort defensive. But Bioware is known for listening to its fans, and it seems the lack of world development, or rather the galaxy development, will not be an issue in Andromeda.
Solving environmental problems and accomplishing specific tasks related to that planet's story. For example, in the case of Eladin, your relationship with the Krogan will determine whether you can build here or not.
It seems that developing the Nexus and managing human resources will have a big part in the game, which is a welcome sight and hints at the amount of hours I personally will be spending in Andromeda. On another note, not to be a xeno-racist, but Krogans as merchants? Really? Is that the best choice?
But of course, not everything on these worlds will be so straightforward. Andromeda holds many mysteries, not the least of which is a vast network of ancient vaults. Simply figuring out how to access one of these vaults is a challenge in and of itself that can take you across an entire world.
The vaults idea seems like a welcome addition to Mass Effect universe, as it is a clear Bioware take on the concept of dungeons from any MMO out there. And as far as we know, the multiplayer in ME Andromeda is not going to be much different from Mass Effect 3, but wouldn't it be nice if instead we would get amalgamation of Destiny Raid and core game Vault Crawl? Because as much as I like the wave-based missions, the concept of making your way through a dungeon with your friends in Mass Effect universe setting is much more enticing notion. All in all, the more we see about this game, the more excited I get.
It's really gonna be something, isn't it?
And as always, like, subscribe, and stay tuned.